Live. Back again. I literally just made it back home. So those who are on the way and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This live is for New Wave versus Akmadaliev. To be honest with you, we are far away from the actual main event. Um, I actually don't know why. And I don't know if you guys remember um, when Inoue fought against Stephen Fulton. They had this big gap between the main event and co-main event, and it looks like they got the same thing now. I was hoping for the best time. Apparently, the fight's gonna start at 10:40 or 11:40. Sorry, so another hour and 10 minutes. That's when the ring rules are supposed to be. But boy, I did not get hardly any. Well, I didn't even get any sleep. Period. Um, I'm literally riding on the Terence Crawford high. I left Nick's house and then just come straight home to film this one. So yeah, this one's a lone wolf thing, but if you're on your way and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. The new wave versus Akmadaliev, yeah, big fight. I'm gonna let the live kind of like increase people. I can imagine some people are still sleeping because a lot of people are still trying to catch up from the Crawford and Canelo fight. So I can imagine that a lot of people are either after the Crawford fight falling asleep and are obviously going to skip this Inoue fight, but I can't do that. This is like a full-time job for me, mate. As it currently stands, they're just literally showing reruns from all of Canelo's fight. Not Canelo. Inoue's fights. So I don't even know how long I'm going to be waiting. It's probably going to be a while. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I feel like within this time frame, I'm going to use this time to really just talk about, because in the last live, or at the end of the last live, which we done maybe about an hour ago, we were talking about Crawford. And in the interim, whilst I was on my way home, I was watching so many interviews. And I was watching Paulie Malignaggi, I was watching Teddy Atlas, I watched Tim Bradley, even watched Gareth A. Davis. I watched so many people, I watched the post-fight press conference, I watched so many people's opinions about Crawford. And you know what I found funny? I found it quite funny that a lot of people are saying, does this make Crawford an all-time great? Hall of Fame. And I'm like, before he even came into this fight, he was an all time great. He was already a Hall of Famer, you know? So this fight shouldn't even have been about that. That shouldn't even have been the topic. This fight should be about where does he rank amongst this era of boxers. You know, you think about the likes of Usyk, obviously I knew he's fighting today, so he's another one. You think about maybe Bivol, potentially Viterbiev, whoever, you know, Bam Rodriguez and what he potentially may go on to do. But we think about Crawford, and if you're a big enough boxing fan, you've been watching boxing for long enough, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, by the way. If you've been watching boxing for long enough, you would be familiar with obviously people like Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather. But if you are, I feel like Crawford before this fight was already mentioned with the likes of Andre Wards and the Floyds, and he was already at that level. I think this fight is more about whether he's the greatest fighter of all time. And I think at the end of the last live, we were talking about whether he's better than Floyd, and I alluded to it in the video or in the live. Whereas like a lot of Crawford's claims to be the greatest fighter of all time is tangible. It's something that you can actually measure in the sense that he's a three-time undisputed champion in three different weight classes. That's a tangible statistic that no fighter in the history of this sport has ever done and will ever do, specifically in this four-belt era. you know. So I I I feel like when you look at that, then you also look at the fact that he's winning in comprehensive fashion. When you look at his win against Errol Spence, I guess hindsight is always 2020. But going into the fight, it was supposed to be a 50-50 fight. And it was everything but that. And then when you look at when he fought Canelo today, he was the underdog and he literally wiped the floor with Crawford. And I feel like the biggest concern for me is I can't tell you the best version of Crawford because I don't know who's good enough to get the best out of Crawford. Because I really thought Canelo would have been someone who would have been able to get that out of Crawford. But he was so much better than Canelo that I don't even feel like Crawford was in fifth gear or sixth gear. Or fifth gear or whatever. He kind of stayed in second gear, sometimes switched into third gear, but never really got out of that. So me personally, I, I'm at a stage where obviously I didn't watch Sugar Ray Leonard, I didn't watch Sugar Ray Robinson, I didn't watch Ali live, obviously watch highlights. But in my lifetime, I'm really struggling to think of a fighter who I think one is more rounded in terms of skill sets, but two, well, this is one thing we definitely can say. Crawford is the most accomplished fighter this world the boxing has ever seen. He's the most accomplished fighter the world of boxing has ever seen. In terms of the maximum reward you can have in boxing by my standards is becoming undisputed. Cleaning out a division and being the best in that division. And he's done it in 3 different divisions. And what people also fail to understand is he's moved to a division and not even had a tune-up. He fought the best guy in the division and just comprehensively beat him. He didn't even, for me, I scored it 9-3. But you can maybe make the argument for 8-4, maybe. Maybe. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys, who are in the chat or in the live. If you're here for the Inoue versus Akmadaliev fight, I'll be honest with you, bro. We're gonna be here for a minute because they do this thing in Japan. I don't know why. Someone's gonna have to tell me if you're Japanese, let me know. But in between the co-main event and the main event, it's like 2 hours. I li- I literally saw the whole co-main event happen and thought, cool, I gotta get ready to go live. And then I just saw the ring empty and everybody. I don't know if everybody's gone for a drink. I don't know what's happening. And then the ring walk's supposed to be starting at 11:40, which is an hour away from where we are right now. And if that's the case, that means there would be 2 hours between the co-main event and the main event, which I still don't understand how that's possible. But it was similar to when Inoue fought Stephen Fulton in Japan, where I was live for that one, and it was the same thing. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Um, but yeah, as I was saying about with Crawford, I'm struggling to think of a fighter who is who has as skilled and accomplished as Crawford that I've ever seen, and I could make the argument that in terms of accomplishments, he's the best, but in terms of skill set, he's the best as well. Man like AB talks boxing. I can't believe in I'm somehow awake for this, bro. You might as well go sleep and wake back up because to be honest with you, the fight ain't starting for another hour. Or who's that? Is that Akmadaliev? No, it's not. Also, there's a I don't even know if this is the co-main event now. I don't even know. I don't even know. Uh, but yeah, I remember a lot of people saying in the lead up to the fight, "Oh, we're only picking Crawford because he's black." And I was saying to people, just just keeping it real, I was saying to people, you can't. Yeah, I was saying to people, you can't. I don't choose people based on race. I picked Usyk to beat AJ, and I picked Usyk to beat Dubois. I also said that Madrimov will be Crawford's hardest fight. You know, sometimes I like there'll be fights where I watch and I don't even care about who I pick. Like there's not a black. If Crawford was to fight Bivol, I'm picking Bivol to win. So it's got nothing to do with race. You know, I did hear someone say, "Oh, Crawford could fight Bivol," but then Crawford shut that down straight away. He's like, "No, I'm not going 175." They said respect Shane for doing another stream, bro. I got a stream after this. I got Man United versus Man City, so it's overtime right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Crawford Clinic, it was beautiful to see. It's one of the greatest I think it was Adam Catchell who said it. It was the greatest performance he's seen live. I think the greatest performance I've seen live is still Crawford versus Spence, but um, it was definitely one. It was definitely a masterclass. It was definitely a masterclass. Beautiful boxing. I do think Crawford was aided by a little bit of poor work. Not even hit the like button, everybody in the chat. Hit the like button. I need that to get boosted in the algorithm. But I do think it was aided by Canelo's lack of what can I say? Canelo's lack of ability, which I did say in the beginning of the fight. Like Crawford, just skill wise, is significantly better than Canelo, but what did impress me was his ability to one withstand the shots, even the shots that were to the gloves and on the arms, and that was caught on the shoulder and the body punches, and then also at times, Crawford literally sat in the pocket and traded with Canelo, shot for shot, punch for punch. And then there was also times where Crawford was moving Canelo. There was a time where Crawford was on the ropes. Canelo tried to tie him up, and then Crawford just span him and put him on the ropes. That's just physical strength. So physically, he was more superior. Technically, he was more superior. And obviously, psychologically, he was more superior in every single way. So credit to Crawford again. Um, I really need to figure out a way to fill this time because I'm not gonna lie. This Inoue versus Akmadaliev fight. It looks. I don't even know when that fight's supposed to start. Bro, I fell asleep during the undercard. I'm so vexed. So did you not watch the main event? Ravage, did you not watch the main event? Because I'm not gonna lie. The undercard was dead, but the main event was something to remember. I'm not even gonna lie. Like. And back to Bryce's comment, bro. I literally do this. Like when I mean I do this, I actually do this. Like if I wasn't on live, I would be watching the fight anyway. I'm a big Akmadaliev fan. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm a big Akmadaliev fan. I've been watching Akmadaliev since his pro debut. I remember when Akmadaliev unified 122 by beating was it Duheny? Or no, it was Duheny lost to Danny Roman. And I remember Akmadaliev beating Danny Roman. And I remember when he like World of Boxing first signed with Eddie Hearn. And I remember watching Akmadaliev then. And I'm a big fan of that style of fighters. I do think Inoue is gonna win though, but I think it's gonna be a tough fight for Inoue. I rewatched it just now. Yeah, it's a masterclass, bro. It's a masterclass, and it's a masterclass to the point where I can watch it once to admire uh, the skill set of Crawford, and I watch it again to admire the skill set of Crawford. But from a competition perspective, from a competitive perspective, it wasn't a good fight at all. You know, like you think about Beterbiev Bivol 1, you know, you think about that, which I was at. Beterbiev Bivol 1, I was there for. You think about, you know, I always talk about Bradis versus Usyk. Again, another great fight. You think about Inoue and Nonito Donaire 1. You think about certain fights where you can just watch back as a spectacle for yourself. This isn't a fight which that you would want to watch back from an entertainment perspective because Crawford pretty much battered Canelo. And once Crawford got in a handy lead and Canelo had landed shots that just wasn't bothering Crawford, the writing was on the wall. Shout out to AT, love my bro. Back again, big up Shane, hit the likes, facts, bro, hit the likes, bro, if you can. Long story short, and AT Ravage, this is the situation, innit? Most people have gone sleep after the Canelo Crawford fight because and someone needs to tell me why Inoue keeps fighting one day after Canelo. Because that happened earlier this year again. When Inoue fought Cardenas, it was the day after Canelo fought Skull. But it's by the by. Someone's gonna need to tell me why that keeps happening. And someone needs to tell me why there's always a gap between the co-main event and the main event with these Japanese cards, because that's been quite frustrating, you know. Um, uh, the crazy thing is Crawford won but still got robbed. That's a fact, bro. Crawford did win and still get robbed. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on your way in. I really need some energy today because I'm literally on running on empty because I have just done the Crawford versus Canelo card. Most people have gone to sleep, which I expect. I done 4 hours of the Crawford Canelo card. I'm about to do an hour and a half at least, maybe 2 hours of Inoue versus Akmadaliev. Then I got Man United versus Man City. So I'm out here in the dunya right now, really trapping. So I'm gonna need as much energy, as much likes, as much support as possible by the man them in the stream. So if you can let me know. Um if you can hit the like button, if you have comments, if you have questions, just keep posting them in the chat. But what was I saying? I can't even remember, bro. I'm tired. Those scorecards. Yeah, the scorecards were terrible. I had it 8-4 still. I mean, a 9-3. Do you think he should retire? I think Crawford should retire and Canelo should retire. But I think Canelo's probably going to end up fighting someone like a Jake Paul. And I think Crawford's probably going to end up retiring. Because I think anything from this point onwards gives you diminishing return. And I don't think there's a fight out there that's bigger than the Canelo fight financially or in terms of prestige. And Crawford's a legacy man. And I don't really see a fight out there that's gonna give him the legacy that this fight has, you know. Did you see the AI judge has it as a draw? Swear down. I don't know what the AI judges found. I don't know what they judge on, you know, because with AI judges, sometimes they just judge it on ring positions. I know Canelo got outlanded in when I saw the scorecards, Canelo got outlanded in 10 of the 12 rounds. He got outlanded in 10 of the 12 rounds. Only 2 rounds did Canelo land more shots than Crawford, which, I mean, that's saying in itself. And I know Canelo landed less than 15 jabs in the entire fight, which is another mad stat. In terms of it looks like the Akmadaliev fight we're about to hear some rumors. Or is it for another fight? Oh, it's another fight. I don't even know if this is the co-main event. But by the way, if there's any Japan followers here or fans watching the stream, can you tell me why the gaps between the fights are so long? Because the gaps between the fights are so long. I don't actually understand why. Um, they got Jimmy Lennon Jr. in Japan. That's mad. I thought they would have had some Japanese coach. Japanese announcer, sorry. But I want to see him retire, but I want to see if he could push for 4-time undisputed, which cements him top 5 all time. I think he's already in that conversation of top 5. At this point, bro, it's just diminishing returns. If people are already questioning whether you're in the top 5 now, if you lose, you're definitely not in that conversation. And I'm like, what you've done thus far is already solid. Like this was daring to be great. I think going up a step further is even worse because not only would he be going up to a Beterbiev, Bivol, Benavidez, but he's going up to those guys who maybe not in the case of Beterbiev, but Bivol and Benavidez. I think their best days are still here, whereas I think Canelo's best days were like 3 or 4 years behind, which I always thought stylistically it was going to be a good fight for Crawford. I just didn't know how it was going to be in terms of power. But once I realized Canelo struggled to just, land punches, and I don't rate Canelo's punch power anymore. And I think I was the first person to say that on camera anyway. I just don't rate his punch power. When you fight 3 guys and you fail to stop 3 guys, but in their next fight they get stopped by lesser opposition and guys who are not even known to be punchers, you have to then question whether your punch power is even up to standard. And I'll be honest with you, when I saw the William Skull fight, not only was his punch power not up to standard, but so was his footwork, his overall skill, and his desire. His desire wasn't up to standard. He says faction Mungia and Belanga, but also John Ryder. John Ryder fought Canelo, and then after that he got knocked out by Mungia. And Mungia is not known to be a puncher, definitely not at 68. and he still managed to stop it. So I just have to wonder, like, that stage I was wondering what going for Canelo's power. 80 says big up Ravage, yeah, always big up Ravage. The man are bigging up each other. So yeah, bro, like you think about the fact that I said this, maybe I said this before the Skull fight, but then when I saw the Skull fight and I was like, raw, like his overall will and desire wasn't there. Now I did think that was because the Crawford fight was already announced and he was trying to get through the Skull fight, and I did think we were going to see a better version of Canelo. But after today, I saw a guy. I would make the argument that without saying Canelo quit, he almost resigned to defeat. He did say in his post-fight press conference that Crawford has everything and he has all the skills. And he even said that Crawford's better than Mayweather, which I'm not going to confirm nor deny. That's his opinion. But I, 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 I just question Canelo's heart at this point. Not saying that not like on a Daniel Dubois thing, but this guy's made a lot of money, and the fight got tough, and I didn't see him back down on the gum shield and say, you know what, let's have it. There was actually times in that fight where he was taking steps back and he was losing the fight. And I'm like, we start to say Canelo's got a great chin, Canelo's got a great chin, and he does have a great chin, and he will never get stopped. But part of the reason why he will never get stopped is because he doesn't take risks. Like once he realizes the fight isn't winnable, he's not going to take any risks anymore. And sometimes it's the fighters who take risks who find themselves at the receiving end of knockouts. And yeah, he does have a great chin, but if you're not willing to go out on your shield and utilize that great chin, then you're probably not going to get stopped, you know? Been fighting since he was 15, brother, got peace. And brother got peace. Facts. Can't even blame him. Um, you know what it is, yeah? I can blame him because the Crawford fight wasn't a fight that I would necessarily say Canelo wanted because he personally wanted to chase legacy. He done it because Crawford was a big money fight. It was a big fight in terms of promotion, and he didn't have to fight Benavidez. But if we're being honest, on the basis of that performance, obviously Crawford is significantly better than Benavidez technically, like significantly. I'm not even gonna say day and night. Is it the distance between Crawford's technical ability and Benavidez's technical ability isn't even there isn't a measure that I can't measure it. I can't measure the distance. It is so significantly like the gap is so big. However, Benavidez is the same size as Canelo. Oh no, he's bigger than Canelo. What am I talking about? He's significantly bigger than Canelo, and he also has power. He also has pressure. He also has speed, and I think he would have probably caused Canelo even bigger problems than Crawford did. Not because he's a better fighter, but just because there's certain things Canelo got away with that he wouldn't have got away with against Benavidez. Like if we're keeping it real, he got away. There was times where Crawford was sitting down on shots and landing flush right hands, flush left hands on Canelo, and Canelo just got a great chin that he was withstanding it. I don't know if you could do that against the Benavidez. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I definitely feel if Crawford got acclimatized to 168, if they were to rematch, I don't think Crawford would stop him, but Canelo would. There was times in that fight where I think Canelo was looking sorry for himself, and I think if they were to rematch, it would be a little bit worse because there was a few questions that Crawford had to answer himself. One of them questions being whether see this is what I was also gonna say because I've been watching boxing for a long time, and there is rarely you see a fighter as great as Crawford not have a rematch. You think about recent times, you think about obviously Usyk, Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. They've all had rematches or trilogies. You think about, the likes of Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Tommy Hearns, whoever, Roy Jones Jr. Most of these guys have rematches or trilogies or whatever. Crawford hasn't even had one, and I think that's really alarming because The fights that we would probably say should have been a trilogy, maybe 2 fights, he's won so comprehensive. So when people are saying, "Oh, are we gonna get Crawford versus Canelo?" I answer them and say, "For what? What are we getting Crawford and Canelo for? I don't see the point." Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, everybody in the chat. I'm gonna need your support today because I'm tired and I'm running on E. I've literally just gone from Canelo to Crawford, so I'm gonna need some energy and some comments in the chat. But yeah, what are we doing a rematch for? Because I think someone like Crawford, once they've downloaded your data and your timing, you're now gonna make him design a whole entire camp specifically for yourself. And I do question, and I could be crazy for thinking this, but if Crawford was to fight Canelo in a rematch, if Crawford was to stop Canelo, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. I'll be so honest. And it might not be like a knockout, but it might just be a case of Crawford just landing consecutive punches to the point where a referee waves the fight off. Because Crawford didn't respect Canelo in there at times. And Canelo respected Crawford heavily. Um, Where's Nick saying for the consistent work rate? Trust me, bro. But as I was saying earlier in the live, I would be watching this fight anyway. If I wasn't live, I would have been watching this fight anyway. So why not go live for it? I would have been watching Akmadaliev versus Inoue. I would have been watching Crawford. Bro, there was times when I was doing journalism like as an actual occupation. I was doing like 4 fight cards in a week, in a weekend, in a week, in a day. Sorry, 4 fight cards in a day. Like I remember I can't even, there was a day when Gerald Washington, I was doing the Gerald Washington, Robert Helenius. I remember I was doing a Maratta fight. I done like 4 fights in one day, with 4 fight cards in one day. So I've kind of become accustomed to this. Shane can Scamarin. Oh, I see what you mean. Can Scamarin do something today? Potentially. I mean, I don't. If any result Man United have doesn't surprise me. Any result we have doesn't surprise me. If we win, I won't be surprised. If we lose, I won't be surprised. City aren't in a good place. United also aren't playing great football. But at the same time, and it's a derby, and the players are still playing for Amorim. That's one thing we definitely can see. I just don't think they're playing in the greatest system. But City have great players. No, Canelo. But I'm gonna be live for the United game after this, so you lot might as well stay tuned. There's another fight here before we go to the main event, so I'm gonna get into the deep detail of Inoue versus Akmadaliev in about 30 minutes in lead up to the fight. But I'm just gonna finish recapping a lot of the Crawford and Canelo stuff. Crawford shocked me when he started fighting in the pocket. The guy is something else. Trust me, bro. He's built or something different, bro. Something different. Like there's some things he done in that fight that didn't surprise me, like his defensive footwork, his angles, his manipulation of distance, his levels and the range change, like the way he's able to change the range he fights at mid, like whilst like in the middle of a combination, the way he's able to put punches together, the way he's able to create openings, that doesn't surprise me. But his ability, his heart, his desire, that don't surprise me either. His strength surprised me. His punch resilience surprised me. His gas tank surprised me. Because for me, I thought if you're fighting Canelo, who historically likes to go to the body, and he did land some good body shots, and you're also carrying weight that you've never carried before, and you're going to fight a lot of the fight at a tempo that you're not used to fighting, you're going to slow down. But if you look at that last round, Crawford ended the fight better than Canelo. So I literally thought, I think to myself, like, those elements really surprised me. They really did. Sesko, oh my days, bro. Sesko, allow a minute. Like he just needs a bit of confidence. I'd like to see Crawford go to middleweight, pick up a title, and retire. Honestly, the only fight that entertains me. This is what has to happen. If Crawford was to fight, this is what has to happen, in my opinion. Janabek versus Carlos Adames, unification for 3 belts. Then Crawford versus the winner of that fight. He becomes unified champion. And then potentially he could fight Erislandy Lara for the final strap. And he could do that in one year. He could do that in 1 year without any mandatories or anything. The next 2 fights, and he become undisputed at 60. If he's motivated by that, because apparently Carlos Adames and Yanabek were in negotiations to fight. If they are, then potentially that could be a fight that we might see. Shane Banter aside, name me players in United that you personally genuinely rate. So I don't rate our goalkeepers, so there's that. I rate Euro, I rate Delict, I rate Maguire, specifically Maguire in his in recent times. I rate Dorgu. I don't rate I don't really rate Dallo that much, but I rate Ahmad. I rate Bruno last season was good. Mount started the season decent. I rate Mbuemo and Cunha, even though I don't think the link-ups worked since they've come, but I rate them, and it's probably that, or only that. Euro to Chelsea in 2026, inshallah. Probably not. Euro will stay at United. That guy's Man United through and through, bro. Obviously, I'm lying, and obviously, I'm trying to talk something into existence. Again, if you're here for that Akmadaliev versus Inoue fight, that fight's in about 40 minutes. So in the interim, if you guys have any more talking points that you want me to cover around Crawford and Canelo, let me know. I'm pretty sure Nick's gonna want to talk about some of this like later in the week. But yeah, if you have any talking points that you want me to discuss right now, then let me know. If not, I will get to the Akmadaliev and rotted. My man got dropped. Yo, the Japanese brother got dropped and he looked like he was done. Yo, Medina dropped. I don't know who this next brother is, but that was a heavy knockdown. It's round 1 of this fight. Medina's got no respect for this Japanese brother still. None. Man is walking in. What a good left hand. That left hand moved him. Yesterday left me fuming, man. Conceded going last minute. Bro, I didn't even watch any football yesterday. I didn't watch any football yesterday. I know I watched the Spurs game. I watched some of the Arsenal game because Nick was live for it. So I had to do like some of the overlays and stuff like that whilst Nick was live. But other than that, I didn't really watch much football because I knew I kind of needed a window of when I could get a little bit of sleep. I didn't end up getting it, but I planned my whole day to get a little bit of sleep, which I didn't get any. Um, who should Crawford fight next? Yeah, so as I was saying, I think Crawford, if there was, if he is to fight again, and I'm just talking about purely from a legacy perspective, he can become a 6-weight world champion and maybe fight someone like an Erislandy Lara, but it doesn't generate a lot of money. But I think he can beat someone like an Erislandy Lara comprehensively, and it wouldn't be much of a risk. And he's going back down to 60, but it doesn't look like Crawford wants to fight on. Crawford did talk about rematching Canelo, but I feel like he would only rematch Canelo because it's big money. Like I think Canelo got about 100 and something million for this fight, and Canelo got 150 million for this fight, 100 and something million for this fight, and then Crawford got like 40 million, 50 million. If he was rematching and they were to reverse terms, if I'm Crawford, I'm wanting a rematch as well. There's no risk to that fight. That's easy money, and I might actually stop him this time. You know. I don't see Canelo taking a rematch though. Yeah, that we stink, bro. Enzo can go. Lol. I don't know about. I actually rated Enzo when he first came, but I don't know about now. Um, at 2 tough games next, we will how you do against Spain. I don't know what you're trying to say, but retype that. But shout out to you, Mustafa. Still. I think you were smoking when you wrote that. Javi Simmons' first game, 1 assist. He was average in the first half. I think Spurs on a whole was quite average in the first half. But I think what caught them off guard was Potter went to a back 4. Whereas in the first couple games, he was playing a back 5. But then once Spurs got that first goal, the writing was on the wall because West Ham had to kind of play a bit more expansive. At the player or manager. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. But yeah, 2 draws. Yeah, Chelsea's struggling right now, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Not only are they struggling, but they haven't really played any great teams. They haven't played Liverpool yet. They haven't played Man City yet. They haven't played Arsenal yet. They haven't played Spurs. You know, and these teams are going to be teams that they're going to be competing with. Well, definitely the likes of City, maybe, and Spurs for top four. And they ain't played none of them teams yet. You know, obviously City don't look great either, so I wouldn't get too carried away. But yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Everybody who's here in the chat. In regards to, we got a goal for likes in the last live. I'm gonna set a slightly lower goal this time, and I'm gonna be like, if we can get to 25 likes, I'll be happy. I don't know if we will, but if we can, I'll be happy. But we're currently in round 2, and Taki, I'm gonna say that's his name. I don't know him, so I'm not gonna pretend like I do. He is he looks like he's recovered. He looks like he's got his legs back. But I'm not really gonna cover much of his fights, so I'm not even gonna pretend. I want to talk about Akmadaliev versus Inoue because we done a video. If you guys haven't seen that video, we were talking about Inoue and Akmadaliev, and there was so much talk in the build up for this fight because obviously um, Inoue Inoue was called a duck by Eddie Hearn. He was called a duck by Akmadaliev and his team. And for quite a while, Inoue looked like he didn't want this fight. You know, he went and fought so many other people other than fighting Akmadaliev, to the point where I'm not saying he was ducking, but he was strengthening the argument. Now, we're 20, we're about, no, let's say 30 minutes away from the fight. And as I'm getting closer and closer to the fight, that I genuinely believe that Inoue is in some trouble. I think Inoue is in trouble, specifically early in this fight. I think in the first 5 or 6 rounds, Inoue can be in big trouble. Now, maybe um, he might just be able to walk Akmadaliev down and just get him out of there quick. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Inoue, unlike his Japanese fans and followers, knows how dangerous Akmadaliev is. And there's a reason why he didn't fight him before. And what I'm concerned about more than anything is I've seen that Turkey has announced Inoue's next fight with Riyadh season in Riyadh before this fight's even finished. And I'm like, bro, one, there's a jinx and a curse when people do that because historically, obviously, famously, Ryan Garcia had his fight announced with Devin and Ryan lost. And but with this situation, obviously on the scorecards, if it's a close fight, Inoue is winning, isn't it? That just goes without saying. It's in Japan, and they already got this guy's career lined up, or his next fights plural lined up. But I'm gonna keep it real. This fight is dangerous, bro. Like this will be, and there's been fights that Inoue's had at 22, whether it's Neri, whether it's Cardenas, where I thought, raw, this is actually harder than I thought it would be. And then there's fights which I thought Inoue would struggle with, and he's actually just washed him, like Fulton, like Emmanuel Rodriguez. Those fights I thought he would struggle with, and he's absolutely demolished him. So maybe this might be the case with Akmadaliev. I doubt it, but maybe. If we're looking at keys to victory, though, specifically for Inoue, he has to rely on the fact that one, he is a much more explosive fighter. He's got a lot of speed. He throws a lot of punches, and he's way more active throughout a fight. Akmadaliev will try and pick his punches. He is well scored, but he's not as rounded as Inoue. So there's that. But I genuinely believe that Akmadaliev might cause an upset today. Like the seeing Inoue get dropped, whether it's a flash knockdown against Cardenas or a flash knockdown against Neri, sorry. I feel like if Akmadaliev gets you in that position, it's not about whether you get up. It's about whether you recover, period. And I'm not sure if Akmadaliev gets you in that position, he will recover. The issue is, can Akmadaliev get um can Akmadaliev seize those moments? Can he get those moments? Can he create those openings? Those are the questions that I'm currently wondering right now. But we'll see, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are currently going into, I think, round 4 of this co-main event. Um, a few comments. I've missed so many comments. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna get through these comments now. Boots, Charlo are the only money fights left for me. I don't think Charlo is. Charlo's supposed to be fighting Furman, and Boots is fighting Virgil. So I don't think those fights happen. And Crawford said he's not going down to 154. It's Allianz. It's at Allianz. Can see Olise doing you guys. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I can see even flipping man like Kane scoring against you. Though. Mustafa Cucurella will deal with Olise. I'm not sure about that. Still, I wouldn't bet on it. Glad to finally see Crawford getting bag and recognition. Fact, same. I want to see him getting money and I want to see him getting recognition. Shout out to you, angry sportsman. I've been high in on him since he fought Burns. Same. I'm not gonna lie. That was since that you're the same as me. Like I remember when he fought Ricky Burns, and I was like, yeah, this guy's a real deal. And he's saying you read the chat like an NPC, bro. I'm tired still. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But you know another reason why I read like this, because when I've read like teleprompters, like when you have to when I have to read out loud, sometimes I have to like do it for a long time to readjust myself because I read every day. Like I read all the time. I'm always reading. Ask Nick, sorry, I'm always reading. But I read in my head and I'm used to reading in loud places. So reading out loud is sometimes quite like difficult to readjust for. Spurs is a 6-point. We always beat them, true. I would be surprised if we beat Chelsea 13 unbeaten record too. Well, I don't know, bro. Chelsea ain't looking that strong. If Inoue wins the fight, people saying he'll fight in December. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Um, yeah, I've heard that too. Brycey, who will win this one? I'm thinking, bro, I wouldn't be surprised if Akmadaliev won still. Calm down, that ain't happening. I think Inoue, to be fair, but Akmadaliev does have a chance. Inoue can't be dropped. I think what we might see is Akmadaliev cause Inoue some problems, and I feel like maybe in the back end of the fight. So if it gets to like round 8, 9, 10, 11, that's when Inoue might start to build a bit of a gap, and then maybe win the fights on the cards. But I don't see a stoppage happening in this fight for Inoue for some reason. I don't see a stoppage. So you man better get comfortable because we're going to be watching the 12-round fight. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It can be Chelsea poor record here. I can see Inoue fighting MJ the same way he fought Fulton. I was saying that. Bro. I'm like, the guys who I never thought you would have problems with, like Cardenas, he had problems with. But then you look at um when you look at the likes of Fulton, when you look at the likes of Emmanuel Rodriguez, those guys were undefeated and like those guys were reigning champions and he just washed them, brought them up comfortably. So I don't even know. Like sometimes Inoue just performs. The better the opponent is, the better he performs. Kind of like a theory thing. But I don't know, bro. I know Inoue rates Akmadaliev because he didn't fight him for so long. So just off that basis alone, I know we're gonna get the best Inoue. It's just whether we're gonna get the best Akmadaliev, and if we do, then it makes for a great fight. What I do want to talk about though, which nobody's talking about, is the fact that Inoue's last fight was against Cardenas, and Cardenas's head coach is um, Joe Diaz. That's his head coach. Akmadaliev's head coach is also Joe Diaz. Joe Diaz has centered an entire camp around Cardenas for Inoue. Now he's doing the exact same thing for Akmadaliev. Is that an advantage for Inoue or is that an advantage for Akmadaliev? Because Inoue could be looking at as well, he beat him, but then um, Joe Diaz could be looking at as well. My guy that I had before dropped you, and then I've also learned a lot about you since then. And now I'll just put another guy in there, but with a completely different game plan, and that might throw you off. I don't know, but I don't think I've ever seen this ever happen in boxing before, where you've got a guy who's fighting two different people, but the same coach, back to back. I don't know. It's quite interesting. God, um, yeah, I think we're about 25 minutes away from the ring walks now. So yeah, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Please subscribe to the channel. For those who want to know, I will be live for the Man United versus Man City game. I'll be live from 4 o'clock. I'm hoping that I can get some sleep after this. So if I finish this live at 12, for example, I'll be looking to get some sleep from about 12 to maybe 3:30. Then wake up, get ready for the live and go again. So yeah, man. Um that was a good stoppage from Medina. That Japanese guy had defeat all over him though. I can't even lie. He looked like he was gonna lose from the first round. He got dropped in the first round. But it was a flurry of uppercuts, a combination at the end that stopped him and the ref waved the fight off. Um yeah, man, it's go time. Akmadaliev versus Inoue. To lose in front of your home crowd is painful. Right now, my man is literally bawling his eyes out still. It's painful still to lose in front of your home crowd. What I find also weird is why is this fight being streamed on Top Rank's Facebook? Doesn't Top Rank have a deal with ESPN and Sky? So why is the fight not being streamed on Sky or ESPN? I don't know. Is that what Top Rank's doing? They're gonna start streaming fights on Facebook. Oh jeez. I really need this fight to start because I'm running on E at the moment. Um, Here's a question I didn't think about also is what does a Nui have to do to get in that like GOAT status, you know? Because he's accomplished quite a lot. But I feel like a lot of his issues is he hasn't fought a lot of marquee names. I think you think about Nonito Donaire, you think about Stephen Fulton, even this Akmadaliev win, if he does beat Akmadaliev, doesn't get him any closer to like Hall of Fame status. So I'm just wondering who he has to fight and what fights he has to go through. You know, you probably think someone like a Bam Rodriguez may be able to come up and fight him. Maybe they could do like a catchweight thing. Who else is there that he could fight? I don't even know. I don't even know. Man, still doing this flipping announcing for who's won. I'm like, bro, just get on with the fight card, bro. This is getting tiring, like levels. Ooh. Bear with me, something to my 1 second. Yeah. So as I was saying before, um, I don't even remember what I was saying before. Mad tired. Um, I need this fight to start as soon as possible. But Japan do this funny thing, yeah, where they have these massive gaps between cards. And I know that fight's just ended, but these guys don't look like they're in any rush to get um this fight over or get the next fight like up and running. The maddest thing for me is I genuinely don't understand why Inoue's been fighting the same day as Canelo. Like, someone's gonna have to explain that to me. Why is Canelo and Inoue always fighting on the same day or within 24 hours of each other? Damn, I actually feel kind of bad for that dude crying his eyes out. I don't. It's boxing, blood. That's the game. Um, I hear you, angry sportsman, but I don't think Nick Ball is a legacy fight. You know what I'm saying? Because Nick Ball himself doesn't have a prestige legacy in itself. I feel like he's got to be looking at someone like a Bam Bam Rodriguez. If Bam Rodriguez moves up, potentially, if he was to move up and fight Nick Ball would have to get a big win. You know, you could probably fight the winner of O'Shaki Foster and Stephen Fulton. Obviously, let's say O'Shaki Foster was to beat Stephen Fulton, then that's a unified champion at another weight class, and he could fight O'Shaki Foster. Alternatively, he could look at. I think the Tank fight might be a bit of a stretch, but some people are talking about him fighting Tank, which is kind of mad still. But yeah, some Nui and for Nui and Crawford, for Nui to be on the level of a Crawford, he has to fight like I'm thinking that I don't even think, unfortunately, he's gonna suffer from a lot of the similar issues that Crawford had, which was when Crawford was unifying at 30, at 45, 40, and he was fighting guys at 35, a lot of those guys never had big names. So when you think about the likes of Delorme or Victor Postal or Ricky Burns, these fights, they never had the worldwide attention as a Canelo does. And what Crawford may have done is he may inspire more fighters to move up weight classes and take more risks. So maybe a performance like Crawford versus a Canelo may want to motivate someone like a Inoue to say, you know what, for the big money and for the big reward and for the big legacy, I might fight at Tank. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He might not. But I'm just thinking, has Crawford set a precedent? Because Crawford set a precedent to chase greatness and become undisputed. All of a sudden, we had 13 years of no undisputed champion. Crawford become undisputed champion. Then we've had 10 undisputed champions since then. Crawford set a precedent to become the first undisputed champion in two weight classes in this era. Then all of a sudden, Inoue does it, Usyk does it. Then Crawford has become the first to do it in three weight classes. Does he motivate a likes of an Inoue to go and fight a Tank? Does he motivate the likes of a I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know. Maybe a Benavidez to fight an Opataya. I don't know. A Bivol to fight Opataya. I genuinely don't know. What precedent has Crawford set? I don't know. You see, Turkey wants Benavidez to move back down to 168. Who does you want Benavidez to fight? Because I don't want to see Benavidez versus Crawford. I don't want to see that fight. Well, this guy's got one of the longest victory laps I've ever seen. Why is this guy still in the ring? Come out the ring, brethren. bro, this fight ain't gonna start for now. It says ring walks at 11:40. It's currently 11:25, which means ring walk's probably gonna be. The guy's still in the ring by himself. Like, bro, how much pictures can you take? He might be trying to cut out Canelo. I don't think so. Canelo ain't gonna be no sacrificial lamb for Turkey. Canelo knows you can make a big piece of food fighting Jake Paul. Cool for the music changed it, I think, because it became cool to chase legacy rather than chasing money. But Crawford done it first. When Crawford beat in Dongo, I don't know if you guys know this, but we didn't see an undisputed champion since Jermaine Taylor, which was in 2005. Crawford beat Inoue in 2017. So it's 12 years, almost 13 years without seeing an undisputed champion. And in that 13 years, we've seen multiple unified champions, but nobody really wanted to pay the sanctioning fees, fight their mandatories to keep holding their belts, and then go undisputed. Now, since then, we've seen Usyk become undisputed. We've seen Josh Taylor. We've seen Jamal Charlo. We've seen Usyk, Inoue, Bivol, Beterbiev. There's been so many undisputed champions in boxing since that time. Like Canelo, so many people have literally unified the divisions. And you have to thank Crawford for that. Because Crawford was the first one to open that door. To make people remember that it's the legacy that we're chasing, you know? Um, okay, finally. That was the co-main event. The main event's about to start. Well, I can't even say it's about to start. Because you know another thing about these Japanese cards, I can't see where the what the fighters are doing, where they are in the dressing room or anything. Doesn't allow you to say that. T Hussein, shout out to you, bro. What channel is this fight on? The fight is on Facebook. It's on Facebook, Top Rank's Facebook. I don't know why Top Rank. I don't know if Top Rank's lost their distribution deal with ESPN, but the fight's on Facebook. I don't know why. When I was looking for the fight to load up before I started the stream, I was literally looking on like normal TV stations and it wasn't there. The maddest thing is because Crawford and Canelo's been on this whole week, I haven't actually been able to catch up with any of the build up with Inoue and Akmadaliev. I don't know if they've been like warring with each other or not. I don't know if there's been a lot of words thrown back and forth. I know there was a lot of words thrown back and forth on social media before the fight was announced. In their face off, they look both very confident. They both look very confident. Akmadaliev has been chasing Inoue for so long that I think to myself, there must be something Akmadaliev seen within Inoue's game. Right, he's been chasing him for so long. And this camp, the 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 Akmadaliev camp, they're known for putting up shocks. This is the same camp that Crawford versus Majimov, and Majimov's performance against Crawford, or Bivol versus Canelo. It's the same team. Could we see another shock? I don't know. I do think Inoue is going to win on point, but if Inoue got knocked out, I wouldn't be surprised. It is so mad, and I'm so tired. We've been on stream for an hour. There is literally nobody in the ring to announce the fighters. I presume we're definitely going to get a Japanese national anthem. Good thing today we didn't get a national anthem for Canelo Crawford though. Now they're showing highlights of Inoue versus Fulton. I remember watching that fight. Stephen Fulton put on an abysmal performance. But it's funny because Inoue's win over Stephen Fulton has aged well. Because since then, Stephen Fulton's actually looked good. And now if Stephen Fulton goes out, bro, if Stephen Fulton goes out and beats old Shaki Foster, he becomes a world champion at 122, 126, 130, which is what weight class is Shaki Foster at? 30, yeah. I think what weight class is Foster at? 30. Yeah, he'll become a world champion at 30. And that win on Inoue's resume would actually age really well. They are literally going through every single one of Inoue's highlights. Like, well, what the hell are we doing, bro? Like, come on, bro. Like, we're supposed to be like 8 minutes away from wing walk. We look more like 30 minutes away from ring walk, which is annoying. I literally need this fight to start ASAP. I swear I hate Japanese cards because they always have these long gaps in between the fights. I genuinely don't know why. I think the ring walk's going to be another 30 minutes, but I could be wrong. This is a terrible, 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 terrible card organization. But it always happens with Inoue. Like, I will never forget Inoue versus Stephen Fulton. I'll never forget that. And how long we had to wait in between fights. They're going literally through every single one of this guy's fights. Like, literally, they're looking at the Lewis Neri win now, and I'm like, bro, what the hell are we doing, fam? Come on, mate. I remember this fight as well because I think we were still doing the channel at this time. I remember when Inoue got knocked down. I watched that fight and thinking, raw. Inoue's got like because it wasn't just a normal flash knockdown. It was a heavy knockdown. But the guy's got heart, bro. I saw that heart when he fought Nonito Donaire the first time. There's a couple of times in that fight where Nonito Donaire hurt him again. And he still managed to pull through. So, yeah, bro. Thing is, Inoue is different. Like, this guy's ability is still at a very high level. The things he can do His skill set, his understanding of boxing is really, really high. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are about, I want to say 15 minutes away from the ring walks, but I'm not sure. But we're about 15 minutes away from the ring walks. I'm hoping sooner. They're currently going through every fight Inouye's had in recent years, probably all his fights at super bantamweight, super bantamweight, and they're at the Lewis Neri fight. But I just need this fight to start like levels. I need this fight to start. Like we're starting to drag this a bit. Do you think Bud can beat Pacheco and other guys at 68? I think he can, but I don't think it's necessary. You know, I think he can, but I don't think it's necessary. Like, what is the if he beats Pacheco, it's not gonna cement him in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Pacheco is still like a borderline prospect. Um, Facebook, I think, yeah, it's on Facebook. It's on Facebook. I really need us, like, come on, bro, like, come on, man. I need this fight to start. I can't really be here for these shit replays, bro. And it's always with Inoue. Like, why are we always waiting so long in between fights? Like right now, we're looking at the Duheni fight. Like, bruh, this is unnecessary. We were also supposed to be at 11:40. I think size is an issue for Bud at 68. He didn't look like it still. He was able to operate still functioning at 68 quite well. I think his biggest issue would be the fact that the size discrepancies between the guys at 68 is very different. So you got guys like Mbili, he's like 5'8", and you got guys like Hamza Shiraz, who's like 6 something. So there's such a big disparity. Then you got guys maybe not as skilled as Crawford, but they're still going to have a massive size advantage, maybe have a power advantage. And also, not all of them might be cooked like Canelo, because Canelo was definitely cooked. Just because he was a 168-pound champion, I don't think that means he's the best fighter at 168 pounds. You know? Man, like Duheni versus Lewis Nari, that's what the fact they're replaying and showing now. Why, I don't know. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are, I'm hoping, less than 10 minutes away from the main event. Akmadaliev versus Inoue. If you're in the chat, hit the subscribe button, hit the like. But also, let me know who you think's gonna win. You know, let me know who you think's gonna win. I know most of you are gonna say Inoue, but let me know if any of you are Akmadaliev fans or want to see an upset. For me, I just want to see a good fight. Bud versus Bivol at Catch Me. Nah, bro, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I want to see Bud fight. I want to see Bud retire, bro. Just relinquish the straps, innit? Because who really wants to go through them long processes of like mandatories and all of that? That's long, bro. That is so long. Um, but yeah, who you guys think's gonna win? Anyway, or Akmadaliev? I don't know. Um, I'm checking to see if they're doing the ring walk now. It looks like they are. Jimmy Lennon Jr.'s in the ring. Jimmy Lennon Jr. looks like he's got the mic in his hand. So let's see how it goes. Or am I just chatting shit? It might be just me chatting crap. Because whilst I see people in the ring, I don't see anybody talking. So I'm not gonna lie. I need someone to start talking and announce the ring still. Like, have some sympathy for those who stayed up to watch this fight. Who on earth would make a fight in Japan the day after Canelo? Like, bro, the people in other countries didn't get to want to go to sleep. People like myself. Like, bro, what's happening? Like, is Jimmy Jr. not gonna speak? This is painful. What streams are you going on later in the day? What streams are going on later in the day? Well, I'm doing the um United versus Man City game, the Manchester Derby, but I'm doing that with Lex, so I'm not gonna lie. Lex is gonna be here, and Lex is gonna be doing a lot of the talking still. It all depends on how much sleep I get. This is what happens when you see a mass exodus from a division. So I even thought when Crawford, Spence, Furman, and all them man went, I always thought that the 147 division was gonna be barren from then. But obviously you had the likes of Boots, Virgil coming through. So that kind of gave me like Brian Norman Jr., Barrios, that gave me like an additional inspiration. Brian Norman Jr. looks really good and he's fighting Devin. Great fight at 47. Barrios has looked less than convincing against Pacquiao and against who's that guy he fought. This is how you know I'm tired because I went live for that fight as well. I'm spent. Who did he fight? I can't even remember. But he didn't look good in that fight neither. But then I think when you look at the fact that Crocker and Donovan fought for a world title, Boots has gone to 54, Virgil's gone to 54, and you look at that weight class and you think, wow, that weight class is not only falling from grace, but normally you can see a young crop coming through. I don't see that. What you may see is the 135s, the 140s, because 140 is a stacked division. So when you think about the likes of a Matthias, when you think about the likes of a Richardson Hitchens, you think about the likes of a Teofimo Lopez, we've already seen Rolly move up and win a world title. When you see the likes of Puello lost. You might see the likes of Puello move up. You might see the likes of Antoine Russell move up. Devin Haney's moving up. So you might see an improvement in 147 due to guys moving up. Because as it currently stands, the division is dead. It's completely dead. But saying that Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. is a great fight. What about Nick? Where's his work rate? He's actually gone to a wedding, so I can't even cuss him still. I'm from Australia, so I've had a whole day of fights, and it's only 9 p.m. now. I'm in the UK, and I've done the whole Crawford versus Canelo card, 4 hours. Then I'm on stream for this fight, another hour, and it's probably going to be 2 hours. And then I got Man United versus Arsenal, so it's mad. I think Donovan is class, bro. Where he might be class in terms of him as a person or as a character, but when we're talking about levels, when we talk about the likes of a Teofimo Lopez, we talk about the likes of a Devin Haney, we talk about the likes of a Shakur Stevenson or Richardson Hitchens, or you know, when you look at those levels of fighters, I don't think he's at that level. I'll be real. I just don't think he is. You think of, I know Donovan is gonna be sacrificial lamb for Conor Ben. That's literally what's gonna happen. They're just gonna sacrifice him for the money, and that's the case. Akmadaliev is getting his gloves put on. So I'm just gonna let you know that if he's getting his gloves put on, we ain't getting a ring walk for at least another 35 minutes because his gloves are getting put on it, which basically means he's still got to do pad work. That is the maddest thing. This fight was supposed to have a ring walk of 11:40. It's now 11:44. Boy. Boy, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to need as much strength as possible for this fight, boy. I can't even cut. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Share this live if you can. If you want to know where to watch the fight, it's currently on Facebook. Top Rank's Facebook, that is. I'm hoping that video was for earlier in the day because I'm hoping this isn't live feed because there's no way this guy could be doing his hand wraps when people are supposed to be ring walking. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way they're doing hand wraps now. There's no way. Unless they had to retape it or rechange it, there's no justification for why they're doing gloves now. And the ring walks are supposed to be at 11:45. He's actually only got one glove on. Yeah, this is nuts. We're gonna be here for a minute, bro. Oh my days, blood. Fam, you know how distraught I am. Hans says, do you think Lewis Crocker beats Ben? No, I think Ben. Well, it depends. I don't even know how Ben looks at 47, so it's difficult to say. Woke up at 3:23. Thought the fight was at 4. Fight started at 6. Bro, at least you got to sleep, fam. I'm struggling in the trenches right now. You might as well cover the Liverpool match at this rate. Let me check. What time is Liverpool's game starting? The maddest thing is, yeah, on Liverpool start at 2. You must be mad. At that time, I should be sleeping. I'll keep it real though. Normally, we never go live at this time of day for boxing. So I anticipated the live not to be that lively because everybody would have been up for Crawford and Canelo. So everybody would have gone to sleep. I can only presume that that's the case because most people didn't had to stay up for Canelo Crawford and probably forgot about Inoue. So I can only presume that that's the case. But the fact that the ring walks was scheduled for 11:40, we're now at 11:48, and it's only now Akmadaliev's getting his gloves on. You have to wonder whether they just done this for a fraud thing or something. Because why the hell would you tell people at 11:40? It's now 11:48. Like, bro, this is ridiculous. If he's just getting his gloves on now, that means he's got to do pad work. He's got to warm up. We're gonna be here for at least another 30 minutes. Man, like Vadim, you know. Yeah, so no wrong walks for now, innit? Guys, don't worry, the wrong walks ain't gonna be for now. A lot of that might be true, but you have to understand that again. I don't know where Conor Ben is, so that's a difficult question to answer. Now, if you're talking about Crocker against other guys at 47, that style ain't gonna work. He's just not technically gifted. So you look at the likes of the Teofimo Lopez, you can fight in reverse fight, going forward fight, going back, got great feet. The pedigree of someone like that. I mean, if Devin Haney is to get through someone like a Brian Norman Jr., you you can imagine he's going to deal with someone like Crocker comfortably. And then you think of someone like if Brian Norman Jr. was to beat Devin Haney, then you think that level of pedigree and skill that he would have had to showcase to beat Devin, he should beat Crocker as well. But you never know. I don't rate Conor Ben at all. I don't rate Conor Ben at all. But I also don't rate Crocker. So sometimes it could be a case of when two guys are technically insufficient, what you tend to find is really good fights, which can go to either guy, because you end up seeing a fight of will and spirit instead of class. You know, but I could be wrong. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, Japanese promotional cards are the worst cards to ever watch, ever, because the amount of time between each fight. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. It was similar when Fulton fought anyway. Same shit that we're talking about now. I literally said to myself, you know what? I don't. Let me give myself an hour before the Inoue fight starts. It's an hour and 20 minutes, and Akmadaliev just put on his gloves, which basically means it looks like I'm going to be here for another 2 hours. Like levels, I can't. Maybe not 2 hours, but an hour and a half. Jesus Christ! And then people standing up in the ring, they must have strong legs, you know. So they've been standing up in the ring for at least 25 minutes. What's your take on AJ, bro? I think AJ is done at the top level. I think he still might have big fights in front of him. Maybe fights like Daniel Dubois rematch, maybe Tyson Fury. But in terms of like top level fighters, I don't think. And I think the heavyweight division is going to go back into a dark age again. So look at the fighters coming through. And whilst you got Moses Sakama, he looks really good. He looks really good. No buts. I don't know what just happened there. Something's gone wrong with my webcam. Let me know if you guys can still hear me because I am having a technical fault right now. So let me know if you guys can still hear me. What did someone says? See what I see. Fury was never wanted. Fury has never wanted an easy fight. I think at this stage, Fury has to take what he can get. You know? I think Fury has to just take what he can get. Financially, I don't think there's going to be any bigger fights happening. So if he is going to return, it has to be for that. And then, um, what did you make? What did Bud make today? I think about 40 million, 40 or 50 million, but I could be wrong. I know Canelo made over 100 M's. To be honest, Fury has ducked AJ for years. I mean, I don't want to say he ducked Fury AJ for 8 years, but I've never really seen a great willingness for that fight. But to be honest with you, Fury is just a guy that's full of shenanigans, so you can never really take this guy seriously. Sorry about that, but yeah, I had a little bit of a technical issue, so I just had to quickly change my devices. Well, let me know if I'm coming through clear so you can hear me. If you can't, let me know. Yeah, well, let me know if I'm coming through clearly, or if you can hear me. If you let me know. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are nowhere near the main event, and I'm distraught. It is literally 11:56. The ring walk was supposed to be at 11:04. We are nowhere near the ring walk. Tragic, man. Absolutely tragic. Tragic. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me see what where we are in terms of the running order. Not running order, sorry. What the actual fights do. So they're just still showing highlights or just previews for the fight. And they're looking at Akmadaliev's amateur pedigree, which obviously, if you do know Akmadaliev, you know he comes from a great amateur background. Static, loud noise, bro. Alright, cool. 1 second. Um, is there still a static noise now? Let me know if you can. Let me know if there's still a static noise now. AT. Let me know if there's still a static noise now. Um, all right, cool. I think I know what happened there. But yeah, there's a bit of a technical fault, but forgive me. Thanks for staying there as well. Appreciated. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. We're still looking at Inoue highlights, bro. I swear to God, yeah. And this is on everything. This is me speaking, and you guys can click this. I don't give a crap. You will never, ever, 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 ever in your life see me go live for a fight in Japan until I actually see the ring walk. I'll never do it. I'll never do it again. I'll never do this again. This is the second time this has happened. I've done it for Inoue versus Fulton, and it was 2 hours between the co-main and the main. It's been an hour and no, it's been an hour and 28 minutes since I've been on live, and it is 28 minutes since the scheduled, or 18 minutes, sorry, since the scheduled time where we're supposed to do this ring walk. This is ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous, bro. How did Bud make today? Or how much did Bud make today? I think around like 40 or 50 M's. But I know Canelo made 100 M's or over 100 M's. So big up for Canelo, innit? Easy money in that. If they were to run it back, I don't know if it would be a case of they having to Crawford will get the lion's share and Crawford will get 100 M's and Canelo takes 40. I don't know. If they do it that way, then I'm all for Canelo running it back with Crawford because I want Crawford to win. I want Crawford to get them type of piece there still. Someone on X said the fights at starting till 1. No, definitely not. Definitely not. But I don't know where I don't know what country you are, so you might be right. If you mean 1 as in 1 in the UK, then bro, that can't be right. It can't be right. Because wait, is Akmadaliev doing his ring walk now? Because if so, that's one of the quickest warm-ups or pad work I've ever seen. It looks like Akmadaliev's doing his ring walk now. Or am I wrong? So who's got the stream up? Is Akmadaliev doing his ring walk now? The way the camera's panning is like he's walking to the ring. Yeah, Akmadaliev doing his ring walk now. So that whoever said it's gonna start at one's lying to you. Still, I can't lie. Love for that still. Alright, cool. Probably won't. We're probably not gonna get to 20. Maybe we might get 20 likes still. I don't know. Let's see. See if we can get to 20 likes. I don't know. Hit the like button, share. I'm literally. Haven't sat on the fence. I've been pretty like set that I think Inoue is gonna win on points, and I don't think Akmadaliev is getting stopped. But if I'm being honest, I want Akmadaliev to win. I've been a fan of him for a while, so I just prefer his fighting style. And obviously, World of Boxing, I'm a massive fan of all the fighters that they produce. I've been watching this guy since he fought Danny Roman, and he unified the titles against Danny Roman. In fact, I've been watching him since his pro debut, but I remember when he fought Danny Roman and he unified the titles. And I even remember when he fought and lost. He's lost the fight. So, yeah, man, this should be a good fight, though, regardless. I don't know what to read of Akmadaliev's body language. He doesn't look nervous, but at the same time, he doesn't look confident. I don't know. What do you guys think of his body language? I think his body language is looking, I don't know what to read of it. You know what I'm saying? Which boxers have made most money in this era, apart from Canelo and Floyd? AJ Fury, Tank, Ryan Garcia. Some of those will probably be the guys in. What channel is the fight on? The fight is on Top Rank's Facebook. Don't ask me why. I know Top Rank have a deal with ESPN. I know Top Rank have a deal supposedly with Sky for English distribution, but the fight's supposedly on Facebook. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. That doesn't make any sense to me. But on their Facebook, they got about 90,000 people watching it. So I don't have a clue why. Someone has to explain that to me. Do you pay attention to amateur boxing? I'm always looking to see who could be next. So that's funny you say that. I used to like when I used to do journalism, I spent like so much time abroad following amateur fighters, and going into like the Olympics. But since I have stopped doing boxing on a professional level, I guess you can call YouTube professional, but it's not like a proper professional level. Not really, no. But I always watch the Olympics though, all the time. Always watch the Olympics. I'm locked in now. I love my bro. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. The deal with ESPN and Sky finished. I thought it was finishing. I didn't know it had already finished, but thanks for letting me know. I thought it finished at the end of this year, but you might be telling me something that I didn't know. So thank you for letting me know. I found it quite. No, but doesn't Top Rank have an ESPN card in? Maybe that's Top Rank have an ESPN card in like a month or so. I'm not. I have to double check that. Top Rank have an ESPN card in a month or about a month or so. I think, cause I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure Top Rank have a ESPN card in like a month or so, but I could be wrong. Anyway, he's doing his ring walk. He looks confident as ever, as always. You know, talk some sense into that Lex brother. He was riding at Amrin pause when losing to Grimsley. He's gonna be on live later today, bro. I will be live at 4 o'clock. He will be live with me. Well, I hope so. So yeah, man. Whatever shit you want to chat to him in person still. But I'm gonna need you, man, to hit the like button still. Anyone who hasn't hit the like button, please hit the like button if you can. You know. We are currently. I want to know you lot's predictions as well. Like, for me, someone in this chat seemed like a real good. The angry sports fan. You seem. I don't know if you're still in the chat, yeah, but I want to know your prediction on this fight, Inoue versus. Because you seem like you're proper into like your like boxing on a heavy level. And if you are, let me know what your predictions are. You are angry sports fan. You are. Who do you think is gonna win? Or is everybody in this chat saying Inoue? How did you get into boxing? I was born into it, bro. And I literally say I was born into it. My oldest childhood memory is boxing. My oldest childhood memory is my sister waking me up to watch Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson. My entire house, whenever there was fights, my house was the fight household. So we do. My dad loved Lennox Lewis. So growing up, it was when Lennox Lewis was fighting, there was fight parties. But then I grew up with my cousin who loved American boxing, and he used to watch like the boxing for Andre Ward, Floyd, and that was from I was like an adolescent. Like I'm talking about real young. And then from just being born into boxing and being a boxing fan, it's like asking a British person how they get into football. Do you know what I'm saying? Same I was just born into it. Like I was born into a household and a family that loves boxing. Like whenever there's a big fight, I always have so many people around my house to watch boxing, and that's like my youngest childhood memory. So yeah, we're going into round one soon. Inoue on points, Fez. I got it on Inoue on points as well, but I would not be surprised if Akmadaliev won. I would not be surprised, just letting you know. I would be surprised if Akmadaliev won on points though, but he might win on. I think he might probably win by. I think he might. If he is going to win Akmadaliev, it will be by stoppage. It won't be by points because this is in flipping Japan. Have you ever been involved in boxing fighting wise? Like as a fan, yeah, like boxing in the gym and yeah, just boxing in the gym. Just like going to the gym and boxing, but not as like having an amateur career, none of that. Just boxing in the gym. But my brother used to box. Like my brother boxed a lot, and Nick used to box a lot. Nick boxes, isn't it? So fair enough. Akmadaliev by KO, never heard of him. He can fight still. Akmadaliev's well, I mean, for those who aren't aware of Akmadaliev, he's got a prestige amateur career. Um, Most notably for winning the Olympic gold medal. I think it was 2016 Olympics he won. And that year, I think Uzbek won like 9 golds that year or 8 gold medals or whatever. They won a bag of medals that year. So um he's from a really schooled and well drilled camp. He's from the same camp as Majimov, same camp as Bivol, same camp as Giosov, same camp as another guy called Abdukokorov. They're all from that same camp. All came out. There was another guy who you probably wouldn't have heard of. I can't remember his name. He was through the amateurs, but he never turned pro. Can't remember his name. I don't know if you don't remember another guy called Danyunar Yelusinov. He used to be he used to fight. He might still fight at welterweight, but he was a highly touted prospect. But if you know Giosov, who was I think he's currently WBA mandatory for Rolly Romero. He's part of that camp. So he's from a really well scored camp, Akmadaliev still. And obviously if everybody should know anyway already. Um Inoue looks focused, bro. He looks laser focused. Jimmy Lennon Jr. announcing the fighters and that. Shout out to Jimmy Lennon Jr. I met that guy when I was in Vegas for Crawford versus Spence. That guy's like a really solid announcer for boxing as well. Yeah, Uzbek won a lot of medals during those Olympics. I expect a lot of them to turn pro and dominate. Some of them did. Like Yulustinov won a gold medal and he turned pro and it never translated. You know, you look at people like Giosov, you look at people like Abdukokorov, those guys had really good amateur careers, but when he turned pro, it didn't translate. There was another guy called Abdulayev. I think he fought Murataya maybe about a couple months ago. He was also from he's also part of that same generation of fighters where they just were producing bare fighters out of Eastern Europe, whether it's from Ukraine, Uzbek, Russia. They were producing really solid fighters. I'm a big fan of Eastern European fighting. So if you're wondering how I know all of these fighters, is because it is Giosov, Yulisinov, Madrimov, and Akmadaliev are all from Uzbek. But they had another two guys who also won medals or gold medals at that Olympics, but they didn't translate great to the pros, or that they might not even have turned pro. I can't remember their name though. But I've actually been to Eastern Europe. That's how much I love boxing in Eastern Europe. I went to Eastern Europe when I was 19 by myself, just to see the experience of how they groom their young prospects. And I think somebody was asking me if I'm into amateurs. Their amateur setup over there in them Eastern European countries, you ain't seeing nothing like that, bro. Their amateur setup is amazing. 11 fights, 11 knockouts, 11 fight straight knockout streak. I do not know. Oh, not I do not know. I will almost bet my last pound that knockout streak ends today. I will bet my last pound that knockout streak ends today. Do you think the Eastern European amateur system is better than the? Oh, by far, it's not even close. It's not even close. It's but I think the Eastern European amateur system is better than any system in the entire world. It's not even close. Like me and Nick might do a video about this, but I've been in amateur setup in this country. I've been in the amateur setup in America, and I've been in the amateur setup in Eastern Europe. Physically in those countries, in those gyms, and it's night and day, bro. The only place I haven't been is Mexico for boxing, but I've been Mexico before, but not for boxing. That's the only place I need to go there. Thoughts on Majimov's future? Issue with Madrimov is he's recovering from an injury, and it actually might be a career threatening injury because it's a breathing injury, and he had a breathing injury going into the Boacek fight. He couldn't make the Boacek fight, so then he made the Virgil fight, and he had it going into the Virgil fight as well. And I don't know how that affects him. Better than the Cuban system. Better in terms of how they maneuver their fighters from grassroots all the way. Maybe stylistically, you can say you prefer one or the other, but not a lot of Cuban fighters turn pro at the right time and maximize their Olympic pedigree and pro pedigree. How much Cubans do you know that are Olympic gold medalists and world champions versus the Eastern European style? The Vladimirs, Klitschko's, the Lomachenkos, the U6, those guys. You know what I'm saying? In this case, Akmadaliev. How many Cubans do you see do that? And a lot of that is because fundamentally, a lot of the Cubans, when they do turn pro and find a way to escape, they turn pro quite late. You think about someone like Erislandi Savon, who never actually was able to turn pro. There's so many fighters who weren't able to turn pro, and it's just the way it is. The fight's about to start, so I'm not even going to be talking about those stuff. I can talk about stuff like that all day. I'm not even going to cut. Majimov's skill is better fight. He's a great fighter, but he's just injured, and I don't know how much that injury is going to affect him. This is going to be interesting because we're going to see Inoue, I think, in a completely different way, but I could be wrong. Cubans always turn pro too late. It's a shame, and it's because of they've got migration. Oh, the fight started, so let me focus on the fight. No surprise, Inoue's fighting off the back foot. I knew Inoue was going to be fighting off the back foot. Akmadaliev was gonna take center ring. It'll be interesting to see how Inoue deals with the southpaw stance. Brilliant jab from Inoue straight away. That jab caught Akmadaliev right in his tracks, and I didn't even like the way Akmadaliev responded to that. He just took one big step back, and I think he just got off put by the speed of Inoue. Inoue isn't being reckless though. And this is what I was saying in the build up to this fight, which was Inoue respects Akmadaliev more than his fans do because he knows what Akmadaliev can do. When I saw him fight Cardenas, he didn't have no respect for nothing, and he ended up getting caught. And I feel like the fact that he doesn't have the respect of his opponents is what creates openings for him. But because he's relinquishing that space and he's giving Akmadaliev that respect already, that's already telling me everything that I need to see. This might be a hard fight offensively for Akmadaliev because Inoue is so fast and he's not going to give you those openings. Already, and Akmadaliev struggling with jab for jab. Inoue's landed a couple jabs, whereas Akmadaliev hasn't landed anything. I did think early the fight would actually favor Akmadaliev, but it's actually looking like the speed and the explosive movement into the jab, even though it's just a jab, is causing Akmadaliev more problems. It might just be the fact that he's overthinking, but he's also overshooting his feet. If you look at his feet isn't really set to create an angle. It's just to follow in a straight line. Good body shot by Inoue. I'm really interested to see what Akmadaliev's plan is here. Good body shot from Akmadaliev. Good shot from Akmadaliev again. Inoue tried to come back with a 1-2. Inoue is very quick and very explosive, but he does like to take more than he needs. Brilliant counter shot from Akmadaliev there. I don't know if you guys saw the short left straight that caught Inoue on his way in. Now Inoue looks like he's taking center ring a bit more. That was a good bit understanding of distance. Good left hand, good 1-2 from Inoue. Now they're fighting back for the center of the ring. Akmadaliev tried to land a combination. He's now back in Inoue, back into the corner. Good counter shot from Inoue. But Akmadaliev looks like he is going to stick it on Inoue at some stage. I want to see how Inoue fights in reverse. That's one thing I haven't seen. And at some stage, once Akmadaliev can't deal with that speed disparity, I presume that Joe Diaz is going to tell him, "Yo, you're going to need to step on the gas a piece still, because that speed is going to be something that you're going to have to deal with. And now you rather deal with that speed with Inoue going backwards than Inoue coming forward." But saying that first round I'll give to Inoue. Again, they both battling for center of the ring straight away. Inoue looks like he's looking to try and use the levels. Don't be surprised if he goes down to the body, over to the head. Akmadaliev really isn't setting any trap. I really just think, I don't know. I don't know what Akmadaliev's plan is at all. I think the idea of trying to counter Inoue is even worse because Inoue's speed is just way too much for you. I just feel like trying to look for the perfect shot might cause you the biggest problem. Great 1-2 from Inoue. Good feint from Akmadaliev. You want to see? I think I could be wrong, but I think Nui's already got Akmadaliev's respect because the pressure that you normally see Akmadaliev put on the front foot isn't there. Great 1-2 from Inoue again. You're literally seeing really good refined skills from Inoue. Good feint again from Inoue. Fundamentally, the skill set of Inoue is you can see that it's better than Akmadaliev. That was a poor attempt of a right hook from Akmadaliev and allowed Inoue to slip and get out of the ropes. This fight didn't start the way I thought it would. I thought Akmadaliev would start way more on the front foot, and Inoue would start more on the back foot, and then eventually they'll be wrestling for center of the ring. But it looks like Inoue is already circling. Good jab from Inoue. Akmadaliev hasn't been able to land anything. That power's definitely kept Akmadaliev honest, because Inoue is really just like, he's really kept Akmadaliev honest. Now Akmadaliev's going in reverse, which is even more concerning if I'm a MJ fan. Good catch on the gloves. Oh, good shot from Akmadaliev. There will be openings for Akmadaliev against Inoue, because Inoue does load up on punches, but I don't think the approach of Akmadaliev is correct. I think he's almost waiting a bit too long, just because he's a bit wary of the power coming back. Maybe he has to wait until Inoue slows down. I don't know. But at this rate and at this pace, I can't see Inoue slowing down. He could probably fight like that for 12. I got 2 rounds to Inoue. But already you can see that Inoue's respect for Akmadaliev is there as well, because Inoue hasn't spent hardly any time on the front foot. Yeah, that was a poor attempt of a left hand. He allowed Inoue the opportunity to duck underneath it, and it's just a glancing shot. Whereas if he resettled his feet and cut off the angle, Inoue would have been stepping into the right hand instead of being able to slip it. Good job from Inoue. Good job. Good straight right hand from Inoue now. This is not the fight that I expected at this stage, but good body shot from Inoue. Oh, what a good shot from Inoue with a great backhand left. I don't see any intensity or urgency from Akmadaliev, and that's purely and simply because Inoue's been able to keep him honest. And now Inoue's starting or trying to step up the pace. I'm still not seeing anything from Akmadaliev. You know, that speed is just causing him so much problems, and I don't know what he's gonna do to negate that. That was a great jab from Inoue as well. Good. He tried to shoot a right hand over the top. I think that was a glancing shot that landed on the gloves. A bit too much feinting and not enough punching from from Akmadaliev. He can't deal with the foot speed and the lateral movement. Good right hand. For me, Akmadaliev, if Inoue is doing everything right, he's doing everything right. He's done everything right thus far. I know Akmadaliev tried to land the shot there, but Inoue is doing everything right. We're actually starting to see Inoue go into his bag, because it's not just power and aggression and explosiveness. It's real technical, precise boxing where he's picking his punches and he's very, very patient. And he's relying on a set of attributes that you rarely see him rely on. Good body shot again from Inoue. Inoue is a real skilled and refined fighter, you know. And Akmadaliev is literally waiting way too long to try and shoot his shots. And again, that feint is not going to work. Again, he tried to counter him on the backhand, I don't know if I don't know. Maybe an Akmadaliev thinks that if I land one shot on this guy, he's gonna go down. So it just has to be a perfect shot. I hear that, but in the interim, you need to set that shot up. Uh, that was I think it's 3-0 anyway. I can see Inoue going to 26 next. Um, yeah, his body's looking bigger. Yeah, his body's looking bigger, but his ability to absorb punches isn't getting any better. So as you start to move up to 26 and you start to fight the likes of who's at 26 now? Um Rafael Espinoza. Who else is at 26 now? Rafael Espinoza, who's WBC champion. Yeah, Nick Ball, it was Stephen Fulton, he's obviously gone. Who's the IBF champion now? I think the IBF champion is Angelo Leo. I think he beats Angelo Leo, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this fight goes. I want to see some intensity from Akhmadaliev in this round. Something, even if it's just landing shots on the arms, just start throwing more shots. Stop waiting for the perfect punch. You know, I had a feeling this might be the case, but I thought this was going to be the case later in the fight, not earlier in the fight. I thought Inoue was going to feel something early and then box like this, but he's boxed like this from round one, which was the right game plan to do. Really you rely on your speed, your explosiveness, your lateral movement, because he's got really good feet. He's got quick feet as well, and he's got really good ring IQ when he decides to use it. I just thought he would be a little bit more aggressive and then show Akmadaliev respect later in the fight, and this is how the fight was going to end. But this is might be how the fight goes from round one to round 12, because I'm not going to lie, there's nothing Akmadaliev is doing to negate this. This is literally a shutout, and I don't see it changing. If Anui stays to doing what he's doing, there's nothing Live can do other than maybe land a money shot and maybe try and offset this dude. But he's got him against the ropes, and he didn't shoot the shot because he's just worried about what's coming back. And I just feel like at some stage that worry's got to go, because that was a good shot from Akmadaliev. Again, another good shot from Akmadaliev. But I feel like you gotta sometimes throw caution to the wind, but with someone like Inoue, you can't, because he's got the power to hurt you as well. And I think that power that he's got and the speed and explosiveness that he's got has kept Akmadaliev honest early. 3-0 saying RIP Hitman. What? What? That can't be true. Good shot from Inoue. Yeah, Inoue is winning this fight comfortably. Comfortably. Well, if someone asks me where I'm watching it, I'm watching it on Top Rank's Facebook. It's live on Top Rank's Facebook. Don't ask me why, but it's live on Top Rank's Facebook. You try to create the angle for the pivot, just throw the shot down the line. You can't keep waiting for the shot to be thrown. You're trying to what a 1-2 from Inoue. You're trying to wait for the perfect opportunity to throw. That's not how it's gonna work, me. That's not how it's gonna work. This guy's using. He's not letting you set your feet. Good right hand from Akmadaliev. Or left hand. Good left hand again from Akmadaliev, but Nui's come right back. Good, but this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. This is the fight you need to have. This is the fight you need to have. You might lose the fight, but you gotta do this. You can't wait, because this guy's got way too much speed. He's got your timing and he's explosive. So you can't wait. You gotta try and land something else. You gotta land something on him. Yeah. This can't be real. Did someone say Ricky Hatton just died? Ross! Ricky Hatton just died, fam. R.I.P. Ricky Hatton, fam. That is mad. Ricky Hatton just died. Rest in peace, Ricky Hatton. How long ago? Oh, raw. You for real? Yeah, bro. He just. I'm looking at the news right now. Yeah, man just died. I don't. You man, let me know. What's the corner saying? Obviously, they're probably speaking in their language. So God knows what they're saying. I don't even know why I even asked. That's 46 years old. Yeah, trust me. Um, Good job from Inoue. I'm gonna struggle to see how Akmadaliev wins a round waiting. You're not gonna win a round waiting. That's a great try. The 1-2, the jab landed. The two didn't land. Ooh, good shot from Akmadaliev. But then that was a wild 1-2. That was a great 1-2 from Inoue back though. Inoue is literally causing him so much problems. I can see what problems Inoue is gonna have moving up to higher weight classes though, because at higher weight classes, you're gonna see people just start wrestling you and just good. Akmadaliev tried to land a big right hand, a good body shot, good shot from Akmadaliev again, and then 1-2 back from Inoue. 1-2 again from Inoue. That hand speed is killing Akmadaliev, boy. That guy's getting lit up like a Christmas tree. But as I said already, the Akmadaliev. Oh, good shot from Akmadaliev. That shot, but then Inoue's right back. Good body shot. When this fight slows down, it's about whose power is gonna last and whose chin's gonna hold. Because I don't know, maybe Inoue can, but Inoue is fighting at a very frenetic pace. Round 9, 10, and 11, is he still gonna have that pace? The thing is, he's got so much rounds in the bank that it doesn't even make a difference. Like as long as he don't get stopped, he's governed. But I think Akmadaliev's looking for the stoppage, but I don't know if he's doing it in the right approach. That foot speed of Inoue is ridiculous, though. Like it is absolutely ridiculous. The foot speed of Inoue. As I said, I don't see this fight ending in a stoppage. And after watching the fight, I said, what a left hook from Inoue. But after that, after this, I definitely don't see it. Because Inoue's landed some big punches and Akmadaliev's just kept going forward. So even after that, I just don't see Akmadaliev getting stopped. Even though he's getting shots landed on him, unless Inoue throws caution to the wind and tries to land some big punches, I don't see it happening. The way how Inoue is able to get center ring so easy is ridiculous. That hand speed is ridiculous. And Ahmadallah's gonna have to start throwing when he's slipping, because right now he's literally just slipping and still getting caught. Good shot, good win from Inoue. Is winning this round of fight comfortably. I don't even feel like to score the fight. What the F? He's only 46. Yeah, I know, but it's mad. He had a fight lined up for December as well. Trust me, it's peak. Apparently that's true. Damn, bro, only 46. Trust me. Do you know how? No, I don't, bro. Akmadaliev needs to fix up, bro. I feel like the game plan was literally just to try and knock this dude out, and I don't think they expected Inoue to show him so much respect, because what Inoue is doing is using a lot of lateral movement, whereas in previous fights Inoue would be walking forward. And they would have probably anticipated that they would have had to meet him in the middle. They probably didn't expect that they would have had to use so much lateral movement because Inoue is not used to fighting like that. But we're seeing we're seeing Inoue really, really go into his bag right now. And I guess it's just as I said, when he fights a better opponent, his ability just like he shows more ability. Good uppercut from Inoue. It's funny because Inoue's best distance is mid range, and up close, I don't really see him do much up close. But Akmadaliev, it doesn't look like he's even trying to take the risk to go up close at all. Because at mid range, he's getting cooked, bro. Good jab again from Inoue. Yeah, I think Inoue's got Akmadaliev's respect, and there's no caution to the win at all. This is an almost absolute shutout, and I would say an abysmal performance from Akmadaliev. He's literally not tried to do anything, but I think it's purely and simply because of the skill and ability of Inoue. You know, Inoue is just literally outclassing him. Great shot from Inoue again. Another great shot from Inoue. Good shot again from Inoue. Ooh, good shot. Oh, that's big shots landed from from Akmadaliev, but then Inoue comes right back. Oh, that's a good shot. That is a good shot again. You need to keep him on the ropes. Good comeback from Ahmed Inoue. Good comeback. Inoue is Inoue hurt Akmadaliev, or he's just going into a high guard. This is starting to become a firefight. Really good work from Inoue there, because he was under some real big pressure. Inoue's boxing real well, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is a really good fight because I'm starting to see a lot more of from Inoue than I've ever really seen. A lot of respect. He's picking and choosing. He's literally fighting a near perfect fight because he's fighting at spells. He's fighting in the pocket. He wants to move. He's using his lateral movement. Recently, we've seen him be almost reckless, but he's picking his poison and he's picking his moments. He got caught with some big shots in that round. And you can clearly tell that Akmadaliev has power. But the issue is he fires right back and he's always bracing himself for that shot. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how he fights in the second half of the fight and if he can maintain this pace that he started the fight with. Because if he can, he's looking at a shutout right now. Can't lie though. I don't see this fight ending in a stoppage because Inoue's already thrown his biggest shots. You know what I'm saying? But he looks fresh though. He looks fresh as a daisy. But I could be wrong. Inoue looks fresh. Good body shot from Inoue. Akmadaliev needs to find a way to get him back on the ropes like he did in the last round. You know, trying to keep him on the ropes, trying to get him to fight off the ropes is literally your best way forward. Good job from Inoue. That was a good shot from Akmadaliev. But this is where you got him on the ropes. This is where you want to work. This is where you want to work, even at the expense of your own good shots landed. Even at the expense of your own defense, you have to trust that your chin will hold up against his. That's where you have to when you get him against ropes, that's where you have to work. But again, great work from Inoue right back, trying to back up Akmadaliev again. And this is really good work from Inoue. And he's using the right moments and picking the right times to fight off the back foot, fight off the front foot, fight center ring. Sometimes he'll put his high guard up on the ropes. I genuinely feel like Inoue has paced this fight so well, but he's also showing a great amount of respect. Someone says, where can you watch it on Facebook? It's on Top Ranks Facebook. Good combination, good body shot from Inoue. Inoue is fighting centering and he's landing some really good shots on Akmadaliev. Good body shot from Akmadaliev. Good body shot from Inoue. Right back. Again, 1-2 straight down the pipe from Inoue. Then he uses lateral movement. Great footwork. Great 1-2 again, straight down the pipe from Inoue. Akmadaliev's trying to edge himself forward, but he's waiting. Tried to land a good glancing shot there, but at some stage, those glancing shots aren't going to work for you. Good jab again. Brilliant work. Inoue is looking really elusive right now. Good shot. Good body shot. But those combinations from Akmadaliev are few and far between. Very few and far between. Good shot again. Good job from Inoue. And Inoue then uses lateral movement, another Inoue round. Nick Nash says Canelo Crawford is a tough act to follow after we saw what we saw earlier. Inoue in the lower weights is levels. I think only fighters like Shakur can beat him. Bro, fighters is Shakur is 135. This guy's 122. That's a completely different weight class. Nick Ball wasn't on his level still. Such a disappointing display from Akmadaliev so far. I think he's been caught off guard. I don't think he expected Inoue, because when you see Inoue fight off the back foot using lateral movement, he has great feet, but he doesn't fight like that. He normally pressures fighters and looks for the stoppage. He doesn't look like he's looking for the stoppage. He's relying, and the maddest thing is, this would have been the game plan that I would have given to Inoue. However, I would have just never expected Inoue to do it because Inoue is on an 11-fight knockout streak. So you would have thought he'd have tried to be a bit more aggressive, but he's actually used his brain in this fight, which of recent times I've actually questioned his ability to show discipline. But in this fight, he's actually shown great discipline. So maybe it's just a case of him respecting Akmadaliev more and Akmadaliev being caught off guard. Plus, I also feel like the speed. I remember Fulton saying it, like, you just don't get used to that speed straight away. It's very difficult to, like, it almost catches you by surprise. And whilst Akmadaliev has been caught with some real big shots by Inoue, it doesn't look like it's slowed him down or stopped him from coming forward. It's just really allowed Inoue to just negate and pick up real estate whenever he wants and go wherever he wants and fight how he wants. But I did say at the start of this fight that this fight Inoue ain't winning on stop by knockout. I said that before the fight even started. I just knew that was gonna happen. Good job. Oh, that was a good shot from Akmadaliev, but then Inoue comes right back with a right uppercut. A good body shot. You also feel like Akmadaliev is so afraid to throw because he's worried about the counter. I feel like he almost needs to take some to give some, and I think that's what he's afraid to do. But to win this fight, you're gonna have to catch Inoue in an exchange and hope that you come off better, because you ain't catching him either responding or being first because he's so fast. The maddest thing is, yeah, I just think Inoue's just done a lot of things right in this fight. I would say Akmadaliev's done a lot of things wrong, but I would say Inoue's done a lot of things right in this fight. And a great 1-2 down the pipe from Inoue again. This is what you call real skill, real ability. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, everybody in the chat. Yeah, this is real skill from that was a good shot from Akmadaliev, but again, it's just few and far between. Like Inoue is literally balling right now. I'm not even gonna lie. Good shot from Inoue. Oh, did that drop Akmadaliev? No knockdown. No knockdown. I don't think it hurt him, but I knew he might see blood on the wall. No, he's gone right back to moving. This is what I'm saying. This is a real disciplined performance. Like Inoue in the last fight, the one that fought Neri, or the one that fought Cardenas, he was just pedal to the metal. The guy who fought Stephen Fulton, he never had showed this much respect. He never showed this much lateral movement, so much defense and slickness. This is great boxing. This is great boxing. Great boxing from Inoue. Rest in peace, Ricky Hatton. Just found out the news. It's peak, fam. Trust me. That's mad. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, everybody in the chat. What great work from Inoue in that round. They're showing some of the highlights, but yeah, bro, Inoue is showing some good work, some great versatility. But yeah, man, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. MJ's legs are starting to slow. I think his legs were slow from the beginning. I think they've got this game plan completely wrong because recently, and I said Joe Diaz was in the corner for the Cardenas fight, and Joe Diaz was the head coach for that fight, and he's in the corner for this fight. And I don't know if they expected the same Inoue that fought Cardenas to fight Akmadaliev, but it ain't the same Inoue. This Inoue does not look like he even wants a knockout. He's just showing great discipline, great footwork, great skill set. This is what you call real good work. This is good boxing, class boxing, you know? And not saying that Akmadaliev hasn't landed some good shots, because he definitely has. But the shots that he's landed are just few and far between each other. Good combination from Inoue. We're in round 9, and I don't feel like Inoue is slowing down. Definitely not his feet. I can't give you one round that Akmadaliev's won. Not one. Not one single round could I give you that Akmadaliev's won. Now Akmadaliev's off the back foot. You start to wonder, he's starting to feel a bit sorry for himself in there. Great shot from Inoue. Or maybe he's trying to pull him into a full sense of security. I don't know. But you don't see Inoue getting greedy. He's just picking his shots and fighting at long range. I've never seen Inoue fight so much at long range. Maybe you guys have seen it like more than me, but I can't tell you the last time I saw Inoue fight a fight at long range like how he's fighting now. I can't remember. Good 1-2 from Inoue. And again, I think Akmadaliev might be. I said that Akmadaliev ain't getting stopped, but without throwing something back, you're gonna be in problems, bro. Good 1-2, and then it'll be followed up with a left hand. One of the biggest issues that Akmadaliev has is that whilst he's not a great front foot pressure fighter when it comes to fighting at long range. You can't wait that long. Oh, brilliant uppercut from Inoue in between the shot. Great uppercut from Inoue in between the shot. And then he goes right back center ring. The lateral movement, the speed, the hand skills, the head and body is terrific. It's terrific. We're looking at a masterclass from Inoue. Absolute masterclass. Yeah, again, another good combination. Oh, good shot from Akmadaliev, but I knew he held those shots quite well. And a good uppercut back from Inoue. Great shot. Good 1-2. Good combination to the body. And Inoue is literally having fun in there, bro. He's having some great fun in there. See, this is why I feel like maybe Inoue moving up higher weight classes might be a problem. Not because he don't have the skill, but because I don't really know how well he will be at how well that power will translate. Has anyone gone down till now? No, no one's gone down. Crazy that a 40-year-old Donaire gave Inoue his best fight. Facts. But that was just down to his timing and power. If Inoue moves up to 126, he's definitely going to be boxing like this. Facts, I agree. Puller boy, you're right about that. You're right about that. Because I've never seen him fight like this before. No more Uzbek power. He said, did I sleep? No, I didn't. Straight in the trenches. Inoue is boxing brilliantly. Terrific. Inoue is goated, bro. Trust me, he's a dope fighter. He can fight. He can proper fight. But Puller Boy, that is a true statement still. If Inoue moves up to 126, this is how he'll be fighting. 100%. Anyone know where I can watch the fight? Yeah, it's on Top Rank's Facebook. Top Rank are streaming it on their Facebook. Tried a good double jab there from good body shot from Inoue. This is good work. This is good work from Inoue. I mean, I don't see the fight changing. I mean, I could end the stream right now and go sleep, and I know that how the fight's gonna end. It's gonna be Inoue on points, and it's a wide points decision. You know, a very wide points decision. I didn't expect Inoue to start the way he started. I won't even lie to you. I thought he was gonna end the fight fighting like this, but I didn't think he was gonna start the fight like this. And it's literally just because he genuinely has used his athleticism and his speed and his activity and explosiveness to really cause Akmadaliev problems. Akmadaliev likes to throw shots with a flat foot. And good job. You think I honestly don't see how Akmadaliev changes the fight from here. You know, like I just don't feel like he's got the tools in the toolbox to change the fight. Anyway, he's making Akmadaliev look like a bozo. And now he ain't got one round. He ain't got one round, bro. He ain't won one single round. You couldn't even give him a sympathy round. But the thing is, yeah, Inoue, it's all about his mindset, innit? If his mindset is that he's gonna go for a knockout, then that's when Akmadaliev might have an opportunity. But it doesn't look like that's his mindset. Inoue looks switched on. Good feint. Good jab. Good 1-2. Good shot from Akmadaliev. Good shot from Inoue. Look at that speed of feet. Look at that speed of feet. How he just circles around and then tries to land the 1-2-3. He only lands the 1 and 2. And then the feet again. Look at that feet, bro. Look at that feet. How he's just bopping in and out of range. Look at that feet. Inoue is literally dancing in there, bro. Man's moving like a Manuel Augustus. You're the real MVP. Let's go. Like an intense sparring session. I wouldn't even call it intense. It just looks like a sparring session. I wouldn't even call it intense. He's absolutely smoked him. He hasn't stood up. He hasn't won a single round in this fight. I knew you weren't gonna stop Akmadaliev, but Akmadaliev hasn't had a single whisper in this fight. Good shot, but then he got countered right back, and then another big shot from Inoue, and then he comes right back again, bro. He's got the money. He's a real deal. He's a real deal, real deal. It's a real deal. I thought this fight was gonna be close. I picked Inoue on points, but I can't lie to you. This is wider than I thought it would be. Still, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Everybody in the chat, those who are here, I'll be here in about 3 hours for, well, I don't even say 3 hours, in about 2 hours for Man United versus Man City. So you man might as well not even go anywhere. You know, might as well not go anywhere, bro. Good job from Inoue again. Yeah, the writing's on the wall, fam. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. The writing is on the wall, blood. Good job from Akmadaliev. Good job back from Inoue. Oh, what a 1-2 from Inoue. Yeah, this fight's done. I don't even have to watch the rest of this fight. I'm going to, but this fight's done. This fight is absolutely finished. What a jab from Inoue. Inoue literally boxed this fight like a completely different person. He literally fought like I've never seen him fight like this. The only comparison I can remember, I don't know if you guys are like remember this year. I remember when Sean Porter fought Udinas Ugas, and that whole build up to that week, I was like, bro, Sean Porter is gonna struggle because he fights coming forward, and Ugas is a big guy and a good guy coming in the pocket. And Sean Porter spent that whole fight fighting off the back foot, doing exactly what. Obviously, he never fought as good because he's not as technical, but he fought doing the exact same thing Inoue done, and just fought a completely opposite to what he normally does, and it's caught Akmadaliev off guard big time. Because I don't think that Akmadaliev really worked on having to cut off the ring or punching on the move. Like it really doesn't go against. It goes against everything, and it's the maddest thing. This is the style that I would have probably given a new way to do, but I just would have never thought he would have done it because he's just a power puncher who has knocked everybody out. So I thought he would have just had way more, not as much respect, I guess, and just tried to walk through Akmadaliev. Sad about that, and trust me, bro. This fight's done. Good counter from Nui. Good shot from Inoue again. He's putting them shots together nicely. There's nothing you can do, blood. There is absolutely nothing you can do. You are done up, blood. You're done. You're done. Like, you're actually done. We need one more like to get my target of 20 likes. So just one more like and we'll get our target of 20 likes. I didn't even expect it. Because of the Crawford and Canelo live, we done a Crawford and Canelo live earlier. I expected everybody to go sleep and no one will be up for this live. So I'm surprised that anyone even in the live. Because I thought people would have just gone to sleep. I can't even lie. So shout out to everybody who's been here from the beginning. Shout out to everybody who's in there now. But yeah, they're trying to wake him up, but bro, you're done. You've lost this fight, bro. He looks like he's gonna cry. Like, bro, you ain't won a single round, fam. It's the way the game goes, though. Inoue's won every round. It's been a complete shutout, and Inoue won on points, and he was comfortable to win on points. This just kind of shows, though. I asked myself this question. Obviously, Inoue won this fight. Obviously, Inoue won this fight, fighting and boxing. But I wonder if he didn't want to fight this style because he's won this fight so comprehensively, like it was so easy for him, but he's turned down the fight for so long. I don't know why he's done that. Did he turn down the fight because he wanted to knock fighters out? Because I did say before the fight even started in all the previews, I said Inoue ain't knocking Akmadaliev out. And I felt Inoue knew that as well. I think Inoue knew he wasn't knocking Akmadaliev out as well. But was that the reason why he didn't take the fight? I don't know. But regardless, he's put on a flipping performance today. Shout out to you, my bro. It may as well be over at the point. In fact, Sub, my homie, was live hopping until they got copyrighted. Lucky to watch 7 rounds. Bro, it's on Facebook. It's on Facebook, bro. But yeah, you seem like a Inoue fan. You can maybe explain why did he not take this Akmadaliev fight from before? Because the way he's fighting now, I genuinely don't know. Oh, that was a good shot from Akmadaliev though. That left hand was a really good punch. Still, I'm not even gonna lie to you, but it's the good punches that Akmadaliev has landed is too far and few between. Over 300K folks earlier, lol. US hardcore boxing fans are on it. RIP Ricky Allen, trust me, trust me. I mean, I know he don't support Manchester United, he supports Manchester City. And whilst we're on the topic of Manchester City, I'll be live for Manchester United versus Manchester City in about 2.5 hours. So if you wanna stay tuned, I will be on live for that still. RIP Hatman, Hit Manhattan got to feel for his son, bro. You got to feel for anyone who loses family in it. What's one thing I am disappointed with Akmadaliev though? He didn't go out on his shield. He did not go out on his shield. This fight reminds me of Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor. This is what this fight reminds me of. That's what this fight reminds me of. Like, this guy is literally just bopped him, bro. Bopped him in every way possible. Like, I knew he's got caught with some good shots, but they're just far and few between each other. And because he's shown Akmadaliev so much respect, he's not overcommitted at any stage. So even when he does get caught with a shot, he might be already in a guard or trying to defend himself. So he's not getting caught square or getting caught in an exchange like he done against Cardenas or getting caught. Ooh, Inoue's hurt. Inoue's hurt. Inoue's hurt. Inoue is hurt. Inoue is hurt. That was a good right hand, but it's a bit too far still. That is a great fight from Inoue. But that last right hand did hurt Inoue still. I saw his leg buckle. I thought this would be Inoue's hardest fight, boy. I was wrong. I thought so as well. I thought so. But Inoue fought a pitch perfect fight. And the maddest thing was, I would have given Inoue like keys to victory, and it would have been exactly what happened in this fight. But I wouldn't give him keys to victory because, to be honest with you, I just couldn't fathom that this guy was gonna fight this way. I couldn't fathom it. I genuinely couldn't fathom it. I couldn't fathom that this was what he was gonna do. I could not see this coming. So yeah, bruv, it's mad. Shout out to Inoue. That was a great performance. Nick Ball versus Inoue, run that ASAP. I'm not really in for that fight because shout out to you, Jacob Love and that, but I'm not for that fight because I think stylistically, Nick Ball stylistically, I don't see how he beats Inoue. I don't see that he doesn't box that great. He's got relentless pressure, but he gets hit way too easy. So there's gonna be shots that he's gonna get hit with that will rock him, that will hurt him, and I don't think that fight goes well for Nick Ball. I'm not gonna lie. I agree with you. MJ has been asking for this fight for a while. Surely he'd just rather go out on his shield. That's what I would think. Puller boy, who do you think Turkey's gonna have a new fight next? Honestly, he's already got that fight announced. But the biggest fight is him versus Nakatani, innit? Him versus Nakatani would probably be the biggest fight. I think Inoue smokes ball, but I still want to see it. For me, I want to see Nick Ball versus Rafael Espinoza. I don't think I'm gonna get that fight, but I think that's the fight that I want to see. I want to see Nick Ball versus Rafael Espinoza or Nick Ball versus Shushu Carrington because stylistically, I think those fights, one, obviously, it will be a unification, but stylistically, those styles he's already fought and been successful against. So Rafael Espinoza is better, obviously, than a Ray Vargas, but has a similar stature and a similar style. Shushu Carrington has a similar style to a Ray Ford. Maybe not as refined and polished as Ray Ford, but again, a fight like that might be better for someone like a Nick Ball. I don't think Inoue is that. I think Inoue beats Nick Ball comfortably. I'm not even gonna lie. Inoue would kill Ball. Bro gets hit 50. Bro, he gets hit too much, and you can't get hit like that. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't get hit like that. Still, you just can't. But yeah, man, Inoue's won by unanimous decision, which I mean, you could have saw that from round 3. Love for you, man, for being in the chat. We ended up getting to my target in terms of likes, so love for that. In regards to what's coming up, we're gonna be live in about 2 hours for Man United versus Man City. If you don't want to talk more boxing, then we can. But obviously, we're going to be talking about Man United and Man City. If you're not boxing fans, then cool. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Obviously, we have the weekly podcast, Only Facts Sports. This week, we're probably going to recap what's happened this weekend. So a lot of Crawford talk, a lot of Inoue talk. Who next? Let us know who you want to see next in the comment section. And then yeah, man. If you if you're a United fan, yeah, or a City fan, then what's it called? But yeah, rest in peace to Ricky Hatton. Rest in peace. I'm gonna go get some sleep. I'm gonna try and get like maybe 2 hours sleep, and I'll be back. Wait, 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours sleep, and I'll be back. I'm going to sleep, man. Yeah, bro. Shout out to UF Texter. Raft was easy for Inoue, to be honest. That was way too easy. Real talk. Good night, fam. Love, bro. But yeah, man, love for everybody being in the chat. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned. We will be live in the next, I want to say 2 hours, 3 hours. Well, 4 o'clock, I'll be live for Man United versus Arsenal. Man United versus Man City, sorry. And obviously, stay tuned for Only Facts Sports podcast this week, and stay tuned for Only Facts Extra. We have Only Facts Extra coming out this week as well. R.I.P. Ricky Hatton. Love for the sport, love for the live. Yeah, peace.